Hey everyone, if you can see me and you can hear me, let me know. 7 p.m. Eastern. It is on the nose, I'll have you know. Exactly. So, just going to wait a few moments for anyone to show up. Takes a little while for people to get notifications. Feels like it's a little orange in here. Hang on. See if we can get a little more light going on. All right. Good evening, Virginia. Is it warm there? Is that a little better? It's really yellow, yellowish here. Anyway, so yellow's a good color. Welcome. Let me just make sure we're on Do Not Disturb so we don't get disturbed. So I'll be back in a flash. Okay, I'm back. Hello, hello, hello. So we're here to have some fun. We're here to look yellow. I don't know why my lighting is so yellow. I really need to work on that. I had a better ring light before, but it was making noise, and you know, when you have a YouTube channel, it's really challenging if you don't have like photography skills or videography skills. But good to see you all virtually. And what we're gonna do is, since Corey's out of town, which inspired me actually, it motivated me to book a vacation too, but I think when I go on my vacation in August, I'm probably still going to be doing videos, because I'd be bored if it wasn't, right? I have a few ideas for people to channel. It's a golden light. We're in the golden, that's good to be in a golden light. I have a few ideas for people to channel. If you have suggestions, I'll take your suggestions. Yes, while Corey is away, I will still play. And actually, we are at the beginning. I'm glad you like the color. Okay, I won't worry about it then. At the very beginning of a new moon. This is like apropos for that. It's a new moon in Leo tomorrow. And Leo is about being playful. Leo is about kind of being on the stage. Any Leos out there? Leo is fiery and energetic. We have seen so much going on in the news. And by the way, if you came to our meditation last night, it's real interesting because it seems like what we're meditating on and visualizing is actually happening on the home front in the United States. So I'm just going to move this over a little bit because I think it'll make it a little brighter in here. That's a little better. So we are going to do a little bit of, I'm going to do the channeling. You can just watch and see. Leo, we got some Leos. Eleanor Roosevelt, I did that last time. If maybe Eleanor Roosevelt at the end. On July 4th, I did a channeling show, my very first one. And we can all pull from these energies from the etheric, from the Akashic records. So this thing that I do, you also can do. It just takes a little practice. Having been doing readings, I've been a psychic for so many years, it's just kind of automatic to go into that state. So we did do Eleanor Roosevelt last time. Doesn't mean we won't tune into her again. We did JFK last time. We did George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. These are the ones that are in the July 4th video. We did, who else? I can't remember offhand. Oh, we did Harriet Tubman. We channeled them. So, oh, thank you, Annalie. Let me see. I'm going to add you as a moderator. Dun, 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 dun! You are now a moderator. Thank you. I have a few ideas. One is, does anybody know who Rachel Carson is or was? Please, if we can make it somebody that most people have heard of. I got this bigger iPad and I still, she wrote Silent Spring. Yeah, too many Leos. No, Leos are great. Thank you, Annalie. Rachel Carson wrote a book in the 1970s that was called Silent Spring, and she was an environmentalist and a scientist, and it was really the first book that was, you know, sort of like raise people's awareness of what we humans were doing to the environment. And then Joni Mitchell wrote a song kind of right around that same time called Big Yellow Taxi, and it was, you know, in that song she mentioned DDT. Hey farmer, farmer, put away your DDT now. Give me spots on my apples and leave me the birds and the bees. So anyway, Rachel Carson around that time wrote the book called Silent Spring, which was really, you know, raised awareness. Ernest Holmes, well, since you said it, because just a little earlier I was like, wouldn't it be cool to channel Ernest Holmes? I'm going to do that because you mentioned it. John Lennon, we didn't do John Lennon before. Okay, I'm going to write these down so I don't forget them. So, John Lennon, I have tuned in him before. Rachel Carson, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, we did her last time. Come on, you guys, you were there last time. Let's see. John Lennon, yeah, RBG we did do. Jackie Kennedy, we didn't do Jackie Kennedy. I'm going to write down Ernest Holmes. Jackie Kennedy. Now, how about let's think of people that would be, that we want to tune into. Let's do John Lewis. People that have passed that would be very interested in helping us during these tumultuous times in the world. Oh yeah, sure. Winston Churchill, I did think of that today. Martin Luther King Jr., I did say you're gonna do that. Okay, so Vivaldi, huh? That would be interesting. Winston Churchill. Okay. I have 9 here. I'll add a 10th one if it's just like, oh my gosh, we totally have to do that. Stalin on Putin. Princess Diana. Okay. Louise Hay. Oh my gosh. Wayne Dyer. Okay, I did Ruth. I did Harriet Tubman last time. I think we have our list. It's not going to be a 3.5-hour show like I do with Corey. Stalin would be interesting. Okay. Stalin. Princess Di. I have one more. What about Michael Jackson? What about Michael Jackson? Who's that lady who was making us stand on the bus? That was Rosa Parks. We might have done. I think we did for Rosa Parks. Okay, and somebody's saying Edgar Casey. Okay, we'll do Edgar Casey too. Oh wait, I have one more, and then I have my list. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. Okay. Quincy Jones has a book out, just so you know, which that kind of made me think of Michael Jackson. Quincy Jones is 88 years old, and he wrote a book, I think it's called The 12 Notes or something. Anyway, it's a really good book. I'm listening to it on Audible. You know Quincy Jones, he's a famous producer. So I'm going to move up a little bit. And everybody can kind of like bring up the vibe and sort of like relax with me as we tune in. I feel like we should do some kind of incantation or something. All right. So first I have Rachel I keep wanting to say Carson. Rachel Carson, who wrote Silent Spring about pesticides and the damage that man was doing on the environment. Okay. Moderators moderate, because I have my eyes closed. We're crawling in the energy of Rachel Carson, who wrote Silent Spring, about the environment and the damage that man was doing to the environment and continues to do. I'm seeing Rachel Carson, who wrote Silent Spring. She's showing me herself with children. She's showing me herself with children. And she's saying that Rachel Carson was saying she always was thinking about the children. She might have had some children. She likely had children. But she's definitely showing me herself with children. Rachel wants us to focus on the children, to look at each and every child as if they're our own child, and think about the future that you would want for your own child. And she said, if you have children, you can do this. She's telling me that when she wrote that book, she had to be very courageous for when she was a female. And she was met with a lot of resistance, but she felt like it was a higher calling, that she had to get the word out that these pesticides were so dangerous. And she said that she says that people were after her, and she had nightmares about that. She had nightmares of being chased, Rachel Carson. And she's saying that's how it can be when you answer the call to do the right thing. And she just knew that, and she's telling me she had a past lifetime. Rachel Carson had a past lifetime as an orator, so that made her a good writer, and a soldier in war. And those are the lifetimes that influenced her being courageous and taking a stand for something. And I'm going to ask her if she has a message for us now. Save the bees. Stop damaging the environment for the bees. The bees. She's really talking about the bees. Without the bees, we're done. We're extinct. She's concerned about our potential for extinction. But she's saying the younger children that are coming in, the young children that are coming in, the next generations will be well equipped with the awareness to turn this planet around. And she's showing me pockets of the planet that will go back to flourishing, nature flourishing. These next generations are going to make sure of it. And now she's pointing to the younger generations now, the 20-somethings who are standing up for the planet now. She said, she's telling me that there's a team of people on the other side that are helping those, like the Greta Thunbergs, and there's a lot of young people that are standing up, and they're not going to take it anymore with global warming. So Rachel Carson is talking about the bees. We have to save the bees and the topsoil. The bees are so important. And she's showing me that measures will be taken to make our food production safer for our consumption. And that's what Rachel Carson has for us. Okay, so we have our work cut out for us. According to Rachel, who wrote Silent Spring, we have to save the bees, the colonies of bees. We cannot have our human civilization without the bees. Yes, absolutely. We need to listen. We definitely need to listen. Do I need another moderator? It looks like I have a couple moderators, and thank you. And if you want to hand off the duty, it's fine. I can give it to a few more people. So Rachel Carson seemed very, very, very concerned and giving a dire warning about, we need the pollinators. So let's go to a moderator is somebody who, if they see a troll, they're able to delete the comment. Gandhi, maybe. There's so many people to channel. I guess I'll do this more regularly, because there are so many people to channel. Tonight I do want to do people that I didn't do on July 4th. And go back and watch that one if you want. So today it came to me that I wanted to tap into Elizabeth Taylor. Yeah, you can look up Rachel Carson, Silent Spring. Check it out. It must still be in print. Elizabeth Taylor. Don't be offended if I don't take down who you want to be channeled. Walter Cronkite will be great, maybe, if we have time. Like I said, it's not going to be 3.5 hours like when I'm with Corey. Okay, let's go. Let's tune into Liz Taylor. Wonderful actress. Oh, Liz Taylor wow, what a delight. I just really love her energy. She's way different from Rachel. It's quite a shift, because Rachel was more about the earth. Elizabeth Taylor was about, she's like, you women, you have to beautify. She's saying, pay attention, because in her day, in Liz Taylor's day, appearance really, really, really mattered. And she says, don't lose that. Don't lose that. She's saying you don't have to spend a lot of money to look elegant. You don't. You know, she's literally pointing to, like, you can use Maybelline. It's not expensive. So, and she's showing me, like, all the different hairstyles that she used to have. And her husband, and the diamond. She showed me the diamond, and was it Richard Burton? She's showing me all the elegant jewelry, the expensive jewelry, the diamonds, you know, all this. It was so fun. It was fun to play with. It was fun to dress up. It was fun to go to the Academy Awards. It was fun to win awards. It was fun to live in mansions. But Liz Taylor is saying that she knew that she was very blessed, but the relationships that she had with her friends were so important because for the people that she knew and herself, they understood, they had a camaraderie. These are real people, and they helped each other with the fame aspect of things that was so tough. And she's mentioning Marilyn Monroe. Did they know each other? It feels like they knew each other. They knew each other, or they knew of each other. And she's saying, see, for Marilyn couldn't keep a grip on herself. We had a core group of people that helped each other to keep a grip on our own humanness and our own, you know, what was really important. And she's just showing, boy, did they drink a lot of martinis. People drank way too much. There are a lot of really bad hangovers. And then she's showing me, then they would, like, have hangovers, and then they would luxuriate in the pool the next day and just kind of sleep it off. It's funny. Let's see if Liz Taylor has a message for us. She's kind of going, she's having concern about, she's saying people are going too fast. She's saying she thought it was too fast in her day being a movie star. She's showing me Judy Garland too. Oh, okay, so I see she's showing me two women that it was really hard on as examples of why there had to be a core group of people that kind of held everything together. But she's saying people are going so fast. She's saying slow down, stop and smell the roses. Be appreciative of all the precious things in your life, and that doesn't have to be jewels. And find one love that's a true love, and know that is what it's all about. It doesn't have to be one person. She was married a few times, but she found true love, and it was in different ways with different husbands. And she's showing me Betty White too. Oh, she's over there whooping it up. And I see Betty White, and she's like, yeah, we're all here. Having a good time. I see Freddie Mercury. Wow. We're going to tune into Michael Jackson later. I just see a lot of celebrities. You know, their images over on the other side. They're all light and love. She's saying all there is light and love here. And they're helping us. They're helping us. They're helping us to get more authentic. Because that's what they did with each other. They helped each other to keep their authenticity. That's what she's showing me. We need more authenticity in the public eye. Thank you, Liz. That was sweet. That was nice. I liked that. So that's Liz Taylor. I was surprised those others popped up, like Marilyn Monroe and Judy Garland and Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson, of course. Yeah, Marilyn Monroe. Wow, interesting. Sometimes I tune in and I find things. You can watch it later on replay. You find things out that I hadn't really thought about. Like I don't know if Liz Taylor and Judy Garland were good friends. It just seems like they knew each other really well. I have to look this stuff up afterwards. Okay, so I see we have Martin Luther King on the list here. Yeah, that we get by with little help from our friends. Yeah, so when I tuned into Liz Taylor, her energy was just, I don't know, I just kind of felt, when you dress up to go to a party, if you like to dress up and you bought a new dress and you had put your high heels on, if you're a woman, if you're a man, suit up and you have your hair done, have your hair cut right, and just, there was a lot. She just felt like, she had a lot of fun with that. A lot of fun with that. Kurt Cobain, that'd be interesting. I'm gonna have to do another one. Maybe Betty White. She was in the background. She was like, we're having a good time over here. Let's switch gears and go to Martin Luther King. I'm just gonna go down the list that I wrote. Martin Luther King Jr. Let's tune in. Changing channels for the channeler. He's showing me the hotel. He's showing me that fateful day. And Martin Luther King Jr. is showing me that he knew. Whoa. Martin Luther King is showing me that he knew of the attempt at assassination that was about to happen. He didn't know where it was going to be. Martin Luther King weighed it out in his mind. He's showing me, he's talking about the promised land, but he did say something about, he didn't say that he was going to get there. He said something in that speech, the I Have a Dream speech, about the promised land, the promised land, the promised land. Interesting. He's showing me that he was guiding Obama. Martin Luther King Jr. was guided Barack Obama to the presidency. And he's saying, hang on tightly. Hang on tightly to your rights, to your civil rights, to your human rights. Do not let them fool you. Martin Luther King Jr. is saying, do not let them fool you. They are afraid. And that's what he saw in his life. The people that were racist, don't let them fool you. They act courageous, but they are so much more afraid than you are. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all, they're just making it look like they're scary and dangerous. But he is concerned about the guns, obviously. Martin Luther King Jr. is saying, turn in the guns. Turn in the guns. Turn in the guns. Advocate for turning in the guns. Willingly. He's concerned for the future, especially the black children. He's saying when children get to know each other, they don't see color. And he knew that gave him hope. He's saying something about his wife. They had real love. They had real love. Not sure if I think she passed. I'm not sure. He's saying something about John F. Kennedy. That he's with John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr. And they're working together on civil rights. They're working together to forge a new path forward. They're helping us. He's really being clear. Martin Luther King is saying that they are helping us, and he's working with John F. Kennedy Sr. They were there for the Black Lives Matter marches, and what was highlighted was the fascist tendencies of the then president. But for some reason Martin Luther King is saying we need to be in reality and see what we're up against. It's really important to always be aware of the enemy. There'll always be enemies to human rights. There'll always be enemies to freedom. It will lessen, but there are always enemies to freedom, and America needs to be the great example. He is here to help us. He showed me John Lewis. John Lewis is with him. Be brave. He's saying be brave. Have courage. And he's actually saying to study sacred scripture. And he's guiding Raphael Warnock. He says, don't worry about Raphael Warnock, I'm right there by his side. And that's what I have from Martin Luther King Jr. Wow. Be brave, be courageous. Be brave and courageous. Know that there'll always be enemies to freedom. We just kind of have to accept that, right? Because people are always going to try to wrest power from us. That's the sense that I got from him. Kind of like, it's a given, so let's not pretend it doesn't exist. Okay, what do you say we tune into John Lennon? Moving right along. Imagine pops into my head immediately. Yeah, John Lennon pops in. He's really strong. He's really, really, really strong. He likes songwriters. He likes everybody, but I feel like he shows up for people that are musicians quickly. He's saying, he just popped in and said, imagine all the people living life in peace. Of course he would say that. He's just saying that's really important to remember that. To imagine it. He says, like you're doing with the groups, you're imagining it. He knew that. John Lennon knew the power of visualization. He's saying he used to get stoned, and then that's when he'd do all his visualization. And it was fun, but it was a little too much. John Lennon is saying that his generation, they were the babies. We had to move into, different times, more challenging times in so many ways, even though things were so challenging then. But they were the babies. They were just getting started. He's talking about Paul McCartney. He's going, can't believe that bloke is still going. Touring and everything. It's funny. He's with Ringo. It feels like John Lennon hangs out around Ringo a lot. Ringo Starr. He's with George Harrison. They're channeling songs of peace if people will receive them. Yoko still misses him. They had a special love. John Lennon is showing me that he and Yoko were together for like 18 lifetimes. That's a lot. He hangs around with his son Julian a lot. He's around his son a lot. He's giving me a sense that Julian Lennon has had bouts of depression. I'm not sure about that, but it's definitely, related to losing his father. They go back and forth, he's saying. John Lennon, do you have anything for us moving into these times that we're in to help us? Don't lose your creativity. He's saying he's very concerned about the loss of art, the loss of culture, the loss of creativity. He's saying don't lose it. This is really an important message. Do your art, whatever it is. Don't put it on the back burner. Don't keep your face in those pads. Those screens. He's showing me, don't keep your face there. Don't forget to create. He's very concerned about that. And he's showing me that Paul Simon had the right idea. I know, obviously, Paul Simon's still here. He's saying Paul Simon had the right idea. Go back to those old songs that they wrote. Sounds of Silence and those. Don't lose the art. Art is life. That's what John Lennon's telling me. Art is life. Thank you, John. Art is life. Well, we're creative beings, right? Makes sense. Wow, you know, John Lennon, I mean, just compared to Liz Taylor, John Lennon was a lot more like, there's a sense of urgency. Less party and more activism, right? Less, like Liz Taylor felt like she was at a big celebrity party. I could see the pool and everything, and the mansion. With John Lennon, it's like a real trooper, like, you know, hang in there, be a trooper, be a trooper for the arts. Okay, we're moving right down the list, so maybe we will get to more. And if the chat's disappeared, let's see. There you are. There you are! Fred Astaire, not yet. Don't lose our creativity. Yeah, that felt extremely important. Extremely important. I was just, this isn't on my list, but I just got, let's talk to Jerry Garcia. So, let's talk to Jerry Garcia since we were just talking to John Lennon. Might as well. Jerry Garcia, Grateful Dead. What a big smile. You know, Jerry Garcia, it feels like he's telling me that he's got this huge smile on his face, and he's saying that he was always happy. He was always happy, you know, and he didn't really need the drugs to be happy. He was happy anyway. He's saying, I should have done less drugs because I was already happy. And he saw a lot of young people overdoing it. Jerry Garcia did. But he's just showing me that, like, what he doesn't see happening now, Jerry Garcia is like that tripping out on the music. Like, they didn't even need the drugs. They were just, because the music was just kind of, you know, divinely channeled. And the music itself was intoxicating. It wasn't the drugs, the music itself. The drugs kind of enhanced it, but the music itself was intoxicating. And Jerry Garcia is talking about the need to alter our consciousness naturally. We all must transcend what's happening. He's really adamant about that. Through dance, through movement, we have to dance around. Crazy dancing, like, you know, the Dead shows kind of thing. And Jerry Garcia is showing me a kind of a resurgence of that, the energy of the 70s and 80s, you know, resurgence of that energy where people will be tired of the harshness of technology, and there's going to be a movement towards people being more in nature, going back to nature, back to nature. And Jerry Garcia is telling me he left a lot of children behind. I don't know how many children he had. And he's helping them. Jerry Garcia is helping the future generations, and he's kind of saying, I wish they would play more music. So there it is again. I wish they would play more music, because that's when we got to really know each other. When we were, you know, jamming with the band, traveling with the band. I wish they would play more music now, because that's how people really get to know each other. Jam bands and the garage bands and that kind of thing. So he's saying, if you have kids, encourage them. Encourage them. Don't ever discourage a child from a musical instrument. It's how they speak. Where words fail, music speaks. And he's kind of nodding. He's like, you guys, you're all doing okay. I was always into this psychic stuff too. He's saying he was into astrology. He was really into astrology. And his death anniversary is coming up in August. Which would be like 28 years or something like that. And he's saying there's a lot of people that actually he appreciates it that people tune into his music on his death day. Carry the torch. Jerry Garcia is saying, carry the torch. So anyone out there that's a musician and a creative, writing, carry the torch. He is mentioning the guys that are still here from the Grateful Dead. He's saying they're tired. They're putting down their instruments. It's time for the next generation. Thank you, Jerry. He was mentioning, I just popped in, he mentioned Steve Jobs, so I don't know, maybe we'll tune into him too. It's funny because some of them are giving me, well, you might want to talk to this person, you might want to talk to that person, like that, which is kind of fun. So maybe we'll do that. The chat keeps disappearing. Let's see what you're saying out there. Yeah. Okay. Next on the list, let me explain. Ernest Holmes wrote The Science of Mind, which is a spiritual philosophy, where he basically took sacred teachings and put them into like metaphysical terms. And he was a brilliant genius. So we're going to just briefly tune into Ernest Holmes. If you watch Church of Spirituality, it's really based on that kind of, what you think is what you create. So let's go to Ernest Holmes. Ernest Holmes was born in Maine, he lived in Maine, and then he eventually ended up in California in the 30s. So Ernest Holmes, immediately he's going, it was the worst of times. But he had the foundation. He had a strong foundation, Ernest Holmes, from his parents. And Ernest Holmes is saying, very, very, very important. It's very important to teach children to use their minds to think for themselves. And Ernest Holmes is very, very much saying that we're losing that too. Well, a lot of these people are saying we're losing things that we need to retain. Children have to be taught their own power, that they have the power. And children do that through thinking about magic wands, and he's pointing to like Harry Potter magic. They need to know that they have power. That's missing in our current society. Ernest Holmes really is harping away at, we have to help people to understand that they have the power. They're linked up with a higher intelligence. Let's ask Ernest Holmes. He's with his wife over there on the other side. And I think he had a couple kids. I see a couple kids he's mentioning. Ernest Holmes is pointing to California. Watch California. California is going to get things started with creating a better country. Watch California. He did live there. There's a lot of religious science churches there, creative living churches. He wants more people to discover their power comes from within, and how to use it, how to systematically use it, methodically use it each and every time, so it becomes like a habit. Get in the habit of knowing that your thought will create your reality. Just knowing it and practicing it, like brushing your teeth, making it routine, making it what you do, going into your mental workshop,